Hello, my loves. Relationship truth. So, the relationship truth. This is a collective theme and an aspect of soul development, soul growth, and embodied awareness around the school of the human experience. So, first of all, we want to understand the process of what embodiment involves. What does embodiment involve? It involves an activation phase, a clearing phase, a purification phase, a solidification phase, and then a creation phase. So, if you understand these 5 steps, you will always be able to move through your initiations with more conscious awareness. You'll be able to develop your soul with more presence, with more knowing, because you understand that there's the activation phase. And I will really explain this when it comes to the truth of relationship and this collective theme, which no matter what time this can show up. Whenever you are receiving this video, it's for you. So, how these will show up for you. Now, this is going to have quite some in-depth different layers and different interpretations around it, because it is quite a important understanding when it comes to purification, remembrance, and the truth of what it is that you want to create. Many of us struggle with relationship and what is it I actually want in a relationship? Who do I want to be in a relationship with? How many people do I want to be in a relationship? Do I like men? Do I like women? Right? There's all of these different things. Is this romantic relationship? Is this friendship? Is this platonic? Is this business? What is this? And the more that you become connected to soul relationship, the more this can feel a little confusing and blurry, because you have unconditional love, you have remembrance, you have past life memories that come up, you have future trajectories of creation that can be felt. And so what happens is there can be some blurred lines. Now, I have traversed relationship inside out, upside down, and I'm really only starting to master it now. But I do understand now how these cycles and these themes work. So you first have your activation, then you go through your clearing phase, which is clearing all the beliefs, the traumas, the karma, the densities, the ick. Then you move into the purification. You call back the things that were lost when you had those fragmented relationships, when you lost a part of yourself, when you abandoned. You return the love, the nurturing, the sexuality, the expression. And then whenever you get to the point of reconciling into wholeness around it, you go into solidification. And only once it's solidified can you actually create life from it, right? So you can only truly create. That is the embodied step. You can only create what it is you've learned when it is fully solidified and embodied, and then you create it into their physical experience. So what is initiation 6? Initiation 6 is the sixth chakra to go through the purification of the Baraka process. This is the process of transcending the human identity, the 7 chakra sisters, into what one might call enlightenment. Now, initiation 6 is different for man and woman. For woman, it is in the throat chakra, and for man, it is actually also in the throat chakra. So, man and woman only have the same initiation numbers in 1 and 6. So, in initiation 1 and initiation 6, and then they're all different. And so the throat chakra is where we start to voice the truth of relationship. It's where we start to communicate our truth of relationship. It's where we start to clarify through the layers of communication what relationship is. So right now, presently, there is many different relationships. Many different. Relationship is the distance between two people. And what defines that relationship in its label is how close it is. So you can have friendships and you can have deep friendships, but there's a distance. Then you can have a twin flame connection that can be completely like this. Then you can have relationship in the form of a divine union where you're synergistically moving together, right? Then you can have soulmates, right? And so the distance is how connected, how you move, how you interact with other. And relationship is showing up in the form of, what is this relationship? What is this relationship building? What is it about? What is it creating? What are the feelings around sexuality? When you're starting to go through remembrance, remembrance can bring up sexual desire. Remembrance can bring up a magnetism, because we have danced the realms with so many of our counterparts in different presentations, with either being mothers or fathers, siblings, sexual partners. There's been often opposing, or what would you call that? The opposite force. So there might be power struggles. And when you have basically in relationship style, if you have killed someone in a past life, you will fall in love with them in the next life, right? So this is the hatred into love. This is reconciliation of karmic footprints. So there is a lot of feelings that come up when this presents. And initiation 6 doesn't mean that you're going into the embodiment of the sixth chakra into purification, because you've got the activation, the clearing, the purifying, the solidifying, and then the creating. The creating from that embodied wisdom and that full purification of initiation 6 in full throat chakra crystallization takes a lot of time and work. So it can be showing up as the first subtleties. It can be showing up as a development of your voice, a development of the communication of what you want in relationship. And so right now, relationships are everywhere, and they are presenting themselves so that you can find the truth of them. Now, the truth of a relationship is coming into, what is my intention? So this is important. This is very important foundational understanding that will set you up for life if you listen. The truth of a relationship comes first with, what is my intention? So my intention for relationship. What is my intention for relationship? I have an intention to have this kind of relationship. Maybe the intention is to have a relationship that is supportive to my creation. Maybe it's to have a relationship that allows me to be seen. Maybe it's a relationship with the intention to be reciprocal, right? So first you look at, what is my intention? And each relationship, you need to ask the same question. What is my intention? Mind, heart, coherence, connecting into the center. What is my intention? And whatever your intention is, you need to write it down and sit with it. Then you need to look at, what is their intention, right? So we often go into relationships so blind that we create a muddle mix of energies, feelings, sensations. We don't actually know what the truth is. We don't know, because our mind places our past on it, our desires on it, and all of the fragmentation of our being onto the relationship, that we traverse it and realize, oh, that was a lesson, that was a learning, oh, it wasn't this, it was that. So what is my intention? And write that down. What is their intention? When you have their intention and your intention, you see, how are they coherent? How do they have a awareness? Now, at this point, you get to go, do I want to feel their intention? Right? Is that resonant for me to even play that role to them? Do I desire to be this for them? Every relationship is an exchange. Every relationship is a what you could call a agreement, where I will be this and you will be that, and we will be this for each other to learn each other through the experience. I will give you this and I will get that. That is the sacred exchange of relationship. It can be done consciously or unconsciously. The next point of awareness is, okay, do I want to fulfill their intention? And am I aware, does this align with them to fill my intention? Now, if you have a very conscious connection, you can communicate this. You can sit down and you can have this conversation. You can navigate it. If you don't, then you'll need to use some telepathic skills. You'll have to really sit with truth, ask God to really share with you the truth around it so that you can navigate it. The next step is this something that has longevity? All right, so you want to ask a few steps using these words. Is this a relationship with longevity? Yes or no? Simple, feeling into your body, letting your body and the energy and the knowing and the vision confirm yes or no. Is this a relationship of longevity? Or is this a relationship of initiation? So there's two: longevity, initiation. Is this a relationship of the words disappeared. Um, dedication. So, a dedication relationship is often a soul mission or a pathway forward. It can be like you can have people that have a relationship of dedication, which is to purpose, mission, assignment, where you will dance in and out of each other's life for the entirety of your life because there is a dedication to something greater than you. So, is it a relationship of dedication? And is it a relationship of healing? So you've got these four primary energies. Is it, and everything else you can sit in these. Is it healing? Is it dedication? Is it longevity? Is it an initiation? Because an initiation is different from healing. Initiation creates expansion, it creates growth, it creates transformation. Now, you can have multiples of this with these relationships. So you can have relationships that are healing and initiation. You can have relationships that are dedication and healing. And once the healing's done, then it's just dedication. So it will shift. And so if you can look at this and go, okay, I'm aware that this person sits in this, in this field, then I am able to navigate how I show up, because mind, body, all of those things will want to come in, the different stories, it will manipulate and maneuver. Many of the relationships that I have traversed have been perceived to be something they're actually not, because I didn't understand these frameworks. I didn't understand the full embodiment of the soul's journey through connection. I didn't see that we have all of these different things, yet we can feel all the feels and move through the process of trying to make something what it is not. Now, if you try and make something what it is not, it is painful, it causes suffering, it has wounding attached to it, and it can cause a lot of devastation. Um, so, and then the final area in the question in regards to this, in what is the relationship truth, is um, around the, you could say the presentation. So, the presentation of the relationship being, how does this present itself? If it's a relationship that we went through in the last step where it's healing and dedication, how does it present itself? Is it the presentation of sensuality? Is it the presentation of romance? Is it the presentation of life partnership? Is it the presentation of compassion? Is it the presentation of love? How many different presentations are there? And you might get things like, it's the presentation of my entirety. Now, that would be a pretty magical relationship. If there is the presentation of a specific thing, it might be purpose. It might be the presentation of transformation. It might be the presentation of kindness, right? So each of these relationships will have a presentation, because those energies are what will hold that connection together. So both individuals will hold the presentation. So, for instance, one of the recent relationships that I was in was a relationship of healing and a relationship of dedication. And this healing and dedication relationship was based on the presentation of love and purpose. Now, what that means is that love and purpose had to go through the healing process. So, love, being the heart, required its purification. It needed to come into as love. And then purpose in the integrated and solidified state to know what purpose was. And so then when the healing has cycled out, then the dedication can be seen in the purified expression, or the solidified, created, that fifth step of devotion. So the relationship is no longer around healing, it is only around devotion, yet it is still in the energy of purpose Yet the presentation of love has been also alchemized out in the form of what was perceived, because it was love that needed to show the healing. Does this make sense? So, what you are guided to is, what relationships are you navigating at the moment? What ones are showing up to say, hey, this needs a little bit of attention and clarification? This one needs to know, okay, we've cycled out of that. What are we transitioning into? There's a new connection or there's new feelings. What is the truth about this? Because if you sit down, you take the time, you really ask, you trust, this is high level. This is like embodied wisdom, initiation 6. If you can do this, then you don't manipulate yourself or others. You don't hurt hearts. You don't tear yourself apart. You don't pull yourself to pieces, because you know the intention of the relationship. You know the truth of the relationship. And if you know the truth of the relationship, you can meet it in clarity and conviction. So, with that, beautiful souls, please write down in the comments what relationships you're aware of. Is there 2? Is there 3? Is there 4? How many relationships do you need to focus your intention in these 3 primary areas to clarify, have a conversation, self reflect, get really clear with, so that you are able to meet in that foundation of truth, the foundation of truth of the relationship, so all beings can be supported. Now, before I completely close this off, I'm just getting this download around one of the relationships I had was a relationship with my VA, who was also an initiate of the Purity of Isis, right? So she was one of my students, and she ended up being a VA. And the challenge was that we never did this, right? We didn't look at the interpretation of it. And I didn't recognize that it was a journey of initiation, but I had my concerns. I was like, this doesn't have longevity. I could feel it didn't have longevity, and I could feel it was a journey of initiation. And the challenge was that we didn't understand this, and we also didn't look at the words that were associated with it. So there were certain words there that were associated to our connection. And had we have done it, we would have been able to really clearly understand that our journey was for a period of time to learn this. And once we learn this, it will probably complete and end or transition into a new phase. Instead, what happened was a lot of mistrust, a lot of confusion, different initiations into a pathway that actually led to a point of separation, not through truth, but through avoidance and misunderstanding of the message. Now, I have learned from that of, okay, let's get really clear. Let's get really truthful. Let's get really honest about this, so that this can then be loving and kind and gentle to all. So now I actually am in the process of looking at a new relationship with a VA. I have this previous history and awareness of understanding, okay, with this VA, what is it that this is about? Does it have what are the steps and the energies? What is my intention for the relationship? My intention is to have someone to support me with my business and to be focused on building my business that has alignment and channeling, and the ability to communicate with the being of my business so that they can ensure that the business is communicated with integrity, right? Their intention is yet to be understood, because I haven't sat down and done it, right? So I need to know their intention. Their intention is to receive financial support and stability, whilst also having a foundation of truth and a reminder of God's presence in devotion to self. Now, I know that because they're telling me right now. So I can share that and able to receive. Okay, beautiful. I'm actually really happy to be that for that individual. I'm happy to be a foundation of truth. I'm happy to be a reminder of self-devotion, because that's my natural state. I don't have to do anything to fulfill the intention of that relationship. And that individual doesn't have to do anything other than her role as my VA. So therefore, we've discussed ethereally this dynamic of this is my intention, this is your intention. Beautiful. That's the soul's intention. Amazing. Now, what is it? Is it longevity? Is it initiation? Is it devotion? Is it healing? Well, I already know it's in connection to devotion. I'm devoted to my business. I want someone who's devoted to themselves enough to be devoted to God, to devote to my business, because it's all the same thing. So, devotion is the primary energy. And that means that regardless of if it has longevity, regardless of if there's different points of initiation or healing, the primary focus is devotion. Beautiful. That's perfect for a VA arrangement, right? That's a perfect dynamic. Now, what would it be if there's a presentation? What's the presentation of energy? Okay, the presentation of energy that is here is sustainability. Wonderful. She requires a sustainability of currency to support her current lifestyle. That works out well. Sustainability with her mission and purpose, her pathway, her foundations. I require a sustainability in relation to my business growing, to building, to having momentum, sustainability in partnership. That means that there's a consistent connection that grows into the business and feeds the business life, right? So that is one of the themes. The main theme is sustainability. Perfect. That's amazing alignment. Is there anything else I need to know? Yes. What else do I need to know? Okay, there's an awareness that I require to look at and interpret the destination of this. So, what would the destination be? Once the foundations of the intention for her and that of my own intention is developed, what's the destination? The destination is that of a point of time when both individuals feel like they have a strong foundation in energetic structures for what they both came to for the intention of this experience. Now, you're not going to receive, I mean, some of you might be amazingly quick channels like I just did then. I don't need to look for a thread. I don't need to sit. I don't need to journal. I practice this over and over. So all I have to do is ask and it comes through. I can share it with you in live time. Some of you will need to sit down and spend a couple of hours looking at this, feeling through it, and making sure that you're being honest with yourself, because this is important for what we would say unifying, loving relationships. If you don't do it, then there's at the end or the destination of the relationship where it will transition, shift, move, change. What happens is one person can be really disappointed. One person can be like, that's not what I thought it was. Well, yeah, we didn't realize that love meant we were going through a pathway of healing. And once we got to love, that we didn't need healing, which means we didn't need this connection in love the same way anymore. That's painful. Whereas if you have a chance to sit there at this level, initiation 6, high level, 6th chakra of activation, this is ownership, accountability for the connections that you're making moving forward. So, wherever you sit within this initiation journey and this collective theme, please be gentle, kind, and honest with yourself. This creates coherent relationships. As one that has had many relationships fail and many turn around, demonize me, attack me, based on my ability to see something that they were not yet ready, it hurts when you're not honest with yourself. It hurts when you project your fragments onto someone. It hurts when they project theirs onto you, and that you don't have the emotional maturity, the soul maturity to move through it and change that destination. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you like this, please stay tuned to YouTube, because lots of these soul growth messages are going to come through as collective themes every few days. We'll be popping them in, jumping on, and you're receiving a lot of threads, lights, transformation, healing. And I would love for this to spread through YouTube and meet all of our beautiful divine family that are looking for this information, that are needing this level of interpretation, so that we can start living in ease and not through the contrast of the human experience. This is Earth School. We can go through Earth School by studying it and moving through the pathways of the interpretations with more ease and grace, or we can get pulled through it. And that is up to us. I love you. I love you. I love you. Until next time. Adonai.